distant beyond space and time. Lunar affinity, light the way. Guided protection, here to stay. On your path the truth unfolds. Guides will whisper, stories told. Let your journey now begin. In the magic, let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the Terran's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place.
Tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truths come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Lunar affinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hello, friends. Welcome into another live stream. I hope you're having a good night. Happy Thursday, Margaret. We are shuffling for our free reads right now. Chelsea, welcome in. All right, first question is for Margaret. Will I go to Canada this month without TJ knowing? Hey Maya, welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Drop a like on the video and post your yes no question. Donations are open. We didn't have any pre-orders tonight, so you will be first if you donate. Yes, we're just getting started with the free list, Layla. Hey, Daisha, welcome in. Before you drop your yes no question in the chat, please like the live stream. All right, Margaret, I'm getting a no for you. 4 of Swords. Scorpio Brett says, is Ben currently dating someone? Ben currently dating someone? No, the Hermit. The Gemini. Is Sag stalking your Threads account? Is Sag stalking Gemini's Threads account? Yes. 8 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles. You're welcome, Margaret. This is for Chelsea. Hey, Bake, welcome in. Green Palace, welcome in. Chelsea, will I get a work from home job soon? Yes, King of Wands. No, 9 of Swords for Maya. Zhao, Firmino, will you win first place? I'm getting a no, 9 of Swords. Red Skies, thank you for liking. You're welcome. All right, Layla. Layla, yes, 10 of Cups. All right, Bake. Does Twin Flame want to reconnect? Twin Flame want to reconnect? Not right now, Bake. Maybe eventually. Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. That's taking things slow. So Bake, that's the energy of like not moving very quickly on this. So I'm getting a no for you. Not right now. Welcome in, everyone. We're working on free readings right now, which will come to a close here in just a minute. Donations are open. Make sure you post your question before 10:30. It's 10:28 my time. Green Palace. Green Palace. This is a challenging card, Seven of Wands, meaning that you might have some challenges here, but overall you'll overcome. It might not be the perfect job for you, but it's good for right now. Seven of Wands, red skies. Well, red skies get hired at WF. Yes, the Lovers. You're welcome. Daisha. Daisha, yes. At least right now, you get to know this person better is what I'm hearing. Get to know this person better. Seven of Pentacles. All right, y'all. The free list is closed. I'm going to finish up these last couple of questions. Free list is closed. You're welcome, Daisha. All right, this is for Rena. Rena, I have a no, the devil. Okay, so Jocelyn, I did not answer legal or financial questions. Do you want to revise your question? You're welcome, Rena. Marco Williams having bad intentions. Shavina, I am pulling a yes for you. Okay. But I think more than anything, this is about this person having more selfish motivations. They prioritize themselves and they'll do anything that they can to get ahead. So I don't really think it's necessarily bad intentions towards you specifically. But there could be a side effect of their selfishness or a result of them prioritizing their own needs and wants over you that I'm picking up on. I don't think this necessarily means this person's going into it with bad intentions, but I do feel like they are thinking about themselves. Okay, so do with that what you will. Mimi. Mimi, I am getting the Seven of Cups, and it's like a maybe, kind of like an in between kind of question. It's not a direct yes, it's not a direct no, meaning that I feel like this person could be in the transitional period between being in love with you and liking you. I wouldn't say that this person's necessarily in love with you at this time because the Seven of Cups is still kind of an uncertain energy. Hey, Mystic. Um, but I'm not. What am I trying to say? I feel like it's to answer your question. I feel like it's a no because I don't necessarily feel like he is there yet. Okay, but I think that there is a transitional period that this person could be in, where their feelings are growing for you and maybe leading down that path. All right. Okay, so Mystic sent a donation. What can I do for you, Mystic? Mimi, that is the definition of Seven of Cups, but I don't interpret like extra meanings out of something when I'm doing a yes or no question. I specifically say, Spirit, is this a yes or is this a no? And that's it. I don't look for additional meaning or anything like that. If you want to know if he has other options or if there's other people that he is entertaining, you're more than welcome to donate for that. But I don't want to jump to that conclusion myself because that's not the question I asked. Oh, thank you, Mimi. That's so nice. You're very sweet. Mystic says, why is the sun being so passive aggressive towards you? All right, let's see. All right, Mystic. So what I'm seeing so far is that Hassan is not very good at confrontation, being very direct, like taking things head on. Prachi, yes, it's $5 for a yes no question. So I feel like, and the reason I'm getting this is because of the King of Wands in reverse. A King of Wands upright is the type of person that would handle something very direct. Like they would directly say what's bothering them. They would directly say, because this is the energy of like taking the lead and like maturity and I'm not afraid. A Knight of Wands is like someone who I feel like with the wands specifically, they're direct. They like adventure. They get adrenaline rushes. They seek out potentially even the dangerous, but in a good way. It's almost like the King of Wands is the type of upright is the type of energy that actually wants to go for something, wants to hike, wants to have new experiences, isn't afraid, doesn't let fear hold them back. They're very courageous. And the King of Wands in reverse tells me that he is not fully expressed in that way, that he does not like that confrontation. He does not like that head to toe conversation back and forth, etc. Um, and I think that you're dealing with a couple of things. I think you're dealing with someone who is not good with confrontation, but I also have the Five of Pentacles, which means that he's isolating himself. He is maybe trying to push you away potentially by making underhanded remarks and jabs. This could be something that he has been feeling maybe for a little while potentially. And it's almost like he's looking for a fight, but he doesn't want to actually outright directly say that he's trying to fight with you. There could have been some things that have bothered him deep down that now he feels like being vocal about it. But I think what this comes down to is I feel like Hassan is kind of looking for a fight. I feel like anything that you say right now is going to lead to some kind of confrontation, even if it's not coming from him as a direct comment. It's more like undertones, like clearly you can tell something weird is going on here. This could be because maybe this is like a buildup from over time of him feeling this way. Sometimes people, especially people who don't like confrontation, they will kind of hold things in, and then eventually when it's getting to them, they'll start to lash out a lot of the times, but in a very passive way. They'll start making little digs or making little jabs, and you're like, well, hey, what the heck? Like, where is this coming from? What did I do? And it's more their like buildup of resentment or frustration of something that has happened a long time ago that they're just now addressing with you, even though they're not even really addressing it. And I feel almost like the main thing is, Mystic, I feel like he's kind of trying to sabotage, or I feel like he's trying to kind of like push you away, maybe even test you a little bit. Like if he's being not so pleasant, and maybe he's trying to see, are you going to stick around? Are you going to put up with this? Or are you going to walk away? So he could be in this kind of like sabotagey place as well, where he's testing you to see if you're going to put up with his stuff. But again, this is a very immature place. This is a very underdeveloped place, Mystic, because like for instance, children will do this to their parents. They'll act insane. They will lash out, get upset, get mad because they're testing their parents' boundaries. They want to say, "Do you love me unconditionally? If I act insane, are you still going to love me? Are you still going to show up? Are you still going to be here for me? Because how safe am I in this mother-daughter or father-son or whatever dynamic? Like, are you going to still be here for me even when I'm at my worst?" And I feel like there's a little bit of that going on too with Hassan, is that he's kind of testing you. He's kind of trying to see like how much you care for him, because he's in that sabotagey place. So for whatever reason this is, he's pushing you away. So I think it's like little bits of everything, but I think it's mainly due to the fact that he's not a confrontational person. When I say he's not confrontational, I don't mean he doesn't pick fights. I just mean he's not direct about how he's feeling or how he's perceiving you. He's not direct about it. I also feel like this could be something that's been building up for a while, and I think he's looking for reasons to push you away, potentially to test you to see if you are going to stick it out, like if you're going to be there for him at his worst. And this comes from a self-sabotaging place. You said you've been getting the vibe, but also don't know what the problem is because he doesn't say it and it's random. It's the second time he does it. That's why I leave him alone. So with people who don't like confrontation, I'm a very direct person, and I will not tolerate it. Like, I don't care. I feel like the only way to deal with someone who's passive aggressive is to call them on it, to call them on their bullshit. Be like, what is that about? That's so weird. That was like the second time that you said that, or like the second time you've done that, or whatever. Like, is everything okay? Like, do you want to talk? You know, I'm very direct about it. You know, that's how I am. And so I think that's how you have to treat it. That's how you have to handle it with this person, is just be like, what the hell? Like, is this about me? Is something else going on? Like, you know, the first time I kind of just ignored it. Second time I was like, okay, this is weird, but like it's starting to become frequent. And like, what is that about? I need to understand that. So that would be my advice, is, you know, to be as direct as possible. Hey, lovely. To be as direct as you possibly can. in my opinion. Lovely, you'll be next, okay? Because you said you're the same way, it's not for you, and I think that that's good. I think people who are passive aggressive need people who are direct in their life to call them on their bullshit, because what they're hoping is by being passive aggressive, they could release some of that steam, some of that frustration. It might not even be about you, but they're directing it at you, because a lot of times people feel safer taking things out on people that they know that loves them or cares about them. So like, it's reminding me of like a child parent dynamic, but kids will misbehave more for their parents than they will for someone else, because they feel someone else's care about them is conditional and their parents is not conditional. And so you'll see that dynamic in a child parent relationship where they're testing the boundaries. Are you going to stay? Am I safe? And then once the safety is established, then they lash out because they feel comfortable, because they know they're safe in that relationship. So you're dealing with a little bit of someone who's, to be completely honest, a bit immature, if I can say that. And sometimes we lash out on people that we feel the closest to. So this might also be like an underlying meaning of like that he feels close to you, but he could also be potentially trying to like push you away at the same time, even though that's probably not what he actually wants. It's an unhealthy coping mechanism. So, I would just be very upfront with him, and Lovely's like agreeing in the chat. I would just be very direct with him, and I would just say like, look, like, is this about me or is this about something else? Like, I just need to know. This is something that I've noticed, and not accusatory, even like not even like getting an attitude back with him so that he gets naughty with you, just like calling him out on it, and just being like, what the heck is this? Why has this been happening? Because sometimes it's not even about you. It could be about something else. And he's just frustrated, and he feels like he can take it out on you. Or it is about you. But regardless, my advice would be, asking him. You said you're not in contact, but you see him post stuff and it makes you feel like he cared more than he let on. But I can't be babying him. So Mystic, if you're in this place where you're seeing like passive aggressive comments, this is just his way of like working through this process. Okay. So if you see him posting little jabs, clearly that's probably to get your attention. He's going to know that you're going to assume this is about him. Again, we're dealing with a very underdeveloped, immature person that is coming at this in a way that's not correct. So, this could be also like him trying to get your attention as well, right? Like him trying to say, oh, is this going to get her attention? It's again, the parent-child dynamic. A child wants attention from their parent, whether it's good, bad, or in between. As long as they feel they're getting attention, it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. That's again the same situation you're dealing with. So why I keep comparing it to the parent-child dynamic is because you probably are much more mature than him, and he is probably dealing with some underdeveloped things that he needs to process and work through and evolve and, kind of grow up. But everyone says like even negative attention is better than nothing. That's probably what he's doing, is he's trying to see, will this get her attention? Because this didn't work. Will this get her attention? And he's trying to see how this is going to affect you, and are you going to respond to it? So Mystic, what I would say is, if it's not a direct passive aggressive remark directed at you, like for example, if he posts something passive aggressive and tags you in it, that's an indirect direct remark. Then I would address the situation with him. But if he's just floating around nonsense and you're witnessing it, I personally wouldn't give it the attention, because who knows what the heck's going on in his mind. And also, I wouldn't take it personally either. It's when it's passive aggressive directed at you, that's when you're going to have to say something. You know what I mean? Mara, hello and welcome in. How are you doing tonight? You donated for a yes no reading? It's so random, so I won't react, but I wondered. Yeah, so Mystic, I apologize. I was a little unclear about what was going on initially when I said to call him on it. That's when I thought that these were direct comments at you. But now that I know it's more like it's even more passive than I realized, and it's more so just to get your attention. You're probably in the best position right now to just kind of let it go. Like I said, unless or until you start feeling like this is directed at you, like it's very obvious he's tagging you in post, or you guys are communicating in contact again and he's acting this way directed at you, then those are the times I would say, okay, this needs to be handled. Hey Mira, if you want to check my pricing list, click on the description on this video. If you scroll down just a little bit, it says reading menu options. I have yes, no questions for $5. I have mini readings for $8. I have in-depth for $13. I have past, present, future for $8. I also have love spreads. So if you have a specific question in mind and you want just a little bit more elaboration on that, it would be $8. I pull up to 5 cards. If you want something more in depth where I talk to you a little bit more, pull extra details, that would be $13. I also have where I do 2 in depths for the price of 1. It's called a BOGO. That's $17. I also do channeled messages, which is where I channel your person directly and I receive a custom message for you from your person, and that's $35. And you can add on to any of these readings message cards, which is where I pull channeled message cards from an oracle deck, and you can add on to your reading that way. So just take a look at my price list and let me know if you have any questions about what I'm offering, okay? Mystic, you're welcome. Does that clear things up for you? I just want to make sure that you're not adding on before I move on to Lovely. You said it's so random I won't react, but I wondered, yeah. You're welcome, Mara. For what you donated, Mara, that's just basically I pull a card and I let you know yes or no. That's what you donated for. So if there's anything that you're looking for, more information, more of a tarot reading, then you'll want to just send for the difference, whatever reading you decide, okay? Okay. So next I have a Lovely who actually donated for a channeled reading. Because she donated for the $35 reading. So if you guys had never seen me do that before, you might want to stick around. I basically channel a message from the cards and just clear cognizantly, I guess. Create a custom letter from your person to you, and then I send you a copy if you want the copy. All right, Lovely. I don't know if you're in the chat right now, but if you are, we're about to get started on yours, okay? Hey, girl. Okay, Mara. So what would you like? Are you wanting to do the channeled message as well? You're welcome. Lovely. He doesn't fish, does he? I'm getting like feelings of like, I don't know why I'm like feeling like I need to ask that question. I feel like this would be so random. Like I feel like that I would not expect that of him, but I'm like, why am I getting like fish symbolism? Unless that means, unless we're supposed to be looking into the symbolism of fish itself. You're not sure? Okay. And what's funny is I don't even have a fish here in this picture, but there's some like image at the top of this picture that almost looks like the back end of like a mermaid or like a fish or something. That's what I was saying. I don't think he fishes because I feel like that would really throw me if he did. So I'm like, are we supposed to be looking at like fish symbolism? Maybe like the multiplying. It could be like biblical. Him trying to be in a maybe a more abundant mindset or something. Oh, you can't say. Okay. It says fish symbolizes rebirth, fertility, the unconscious of the higher self, luck, change, health, and feelings. They're also commonly associated with the water element, which signifies stability, balance, and tranquility. So that makes sense because the card I'm getting the image off of is literally death and rebirth. Death and rebirth from the Light Seers deck. If you have that deck, or if you look at that card, you'll see at the top of it, it's like it almost looks like a fishtail or something. And I'm like pulling heavy, like strong symbolism from that. Okay. It's not a fish. It's not literally a fish, but it looks like one. So like I'm kind of stuck on that for some reason. All right, let me get back to your reading here. You're about to grab it. Okay. Hey Jessica, how are you? Do I do general readings? Yes, I do. I do mini readings for $8 or in-depths for $13. And I essentially would just shuffle my deck, and whatever comes out, comes out. We could even put a time frame on it if you are looking for something like in the next 3 months. I typically don't do further out than that, but if a message comes through, then I will let you know if I'm picking up on something outside of those dates. You could, I mean, technically you could do the remainder of the year, but I wouldn't give like specific dates or anything like that. So just let me know. We would just tap into the energies of the cards themselves and see what we're picking up on. Almost done, lovely. All right. We're about to get your reading sent to you, friends. Pulling up your messages. All right. So he says, I have been spending more time in nature, looking up at the sky and thinking of you. The time spent outside, even for a few minutes or a walk, really clears my head, and I'm trying to connect more to the sun, life-giving energy, and it's making me feel better. I feel like I'm so much more than I once was. I feel like I'm coming into myself. I feel more connected to my soul or something, and it's inspiring me. I find that when I listen to music, I also go into a meditative state. I'm not trying to, but it happens. And in those moments, I feel connected to you, almost like we're thinking of each other at the same time. I know there are darker parts of myself that I need to address, but I know it will be hard. So I'm giving myself grace and enjoying the positivity when I feel it. So, what I'm kind of gathering from that, in summary, is that he typically finds himself in a more negative mindset. And lately, maybe he's feeling more positive and he's enjoying that feeling. And so he's trying to kind of harness that and hold on to that for a little while, because I guess he feels like there's like depth to what he's going through right now and how he's processing and growing. And there's like certain things that are going to be harder for him to go down that road, to like go back and try to like address, if that makes sense. So he's saying like, this feels good in the moment. And so I want to just kind of lean into that and feel that. But also I have this like bittersweet feeling knowing that my work isn't done. And I know that there's more to do. And I think he's probably a little bit afraid of like addressing those things within himself and then not finding this light that he has right now. But he's got to go deeper, because like you said, he can be more pessimistic, and I think he's just afraid of like somehow this like unraveling all of the work that he's done, because it's very scary. So that's what I think he's just kind of like, man, I'm having a good time right now, like, you know, I just want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy how I'm feeling. But I can see here with the 8 of Swords and the 3 of Swords, that's some deep stuff. That's very restricted, and I think that he knows that like he's still got these wires wrapped, like ropes, whatever, wrapped around him in certain regards that he's gonna have to take care of. So, metaphorically speaking. Okay. So, you said so on point. Makes so much sense. Yes, that's what I've got for you, girl. I don't like going down I don't like going down those parts of myself either. What I do is I chisel away a little bit at a time. And then I pull myself out of it, and then I live life for a little while, and then I'm like, okay, I got to get back to work, and then I'll go back and do a little bit more. So I understand his feeling like he needs to kind of enjoy what's going on right now, because, you know, and I wouldn't blame him either if he felt that he needed to take those breaks, because sometimes that shit's just going to come for you. And so you're like, while I have control over this before it like overcomes like consumes me in my life, you know. But that's the part of healing. That's the part of inner work, is like you take care of a little bit at a time, and then you get back to life, get back to reality, then you go back in, and it's a journey. That's why they say that, because I truly don't think it's supposed to be handled all at one time, you know? Yeah, it's hard for sure. I don't like those parts. I'm scared of those parts. And also like just trying to make sense of it in your own mind, and like forgive yourself for things that, you know, absolve yourself if you aren't like responsible. If you are responsible, forgive yourself for those things that you did. But anyways, lovely. That's what I have for you, friend. Hey Maya, when will I have super chat? I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm not eligible for super chat right now. And honestly, I'm not like eager to be eligible for super chat, to be honest. If I get the eligibility, I'll probably consider it because I know that that's, good for a lot of the viewers that I have in here. That might be something that they're interested in. But I don't know enough about super chat in general to know if it's something I'd even want to do. But before we even get to that point, I'd have to be eligible. I'd have to hit certain metrics, which I know that I'm not at. I have met certain qualifications, like the amount of followers that I have and things like that. I know that I've hit that mark, but I think that there's also like 2 other metrics, like how many view hours you've had in the last 12 months and your visibility, et cetera, et cetera. Plus, I don't know if Super Chat takes any money from you to do that. So I would need to look further into it. However, if I do meet those eligibility requirements, I definitely would look into it further. I just don't know if and when that will happen. Yeah. Where you're at right now, do you not have PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo? Okay, no, that's okay, because I think with Super Chat, they let you use, like, your credit card or your debit card or something like that. I think they have, like, more payment method options. So Maya, I will keep you in mind since it is something that you're interested in, and I don't have people asking all of the time, but there's, a couple times a year, I will say people probably come in and ask me if I have Super Chat. So I'll keep an eye on my metrics and knowing that it's something you're interested in. If I hit the qualifications, I will let you know. I just don't know if and when that will happen. Yeah. I'm open to it. I don't know a lot about it, but I'm open to it. And I have checked my my YouTube studio many times to try to see if I am eligible for it, but they're kind of strict with that kind of stuff. I think if I was doing like pick a card readings and I was doing a lot more content on YouTube, I would get those watch hours up really fast. But I'm usually only doing live streams. And so typically it's kind of hard to get those watch hours up because people are only watching while I'm streaming. They're not watching outside of that. You're welcome, Maya. Okay, Amy. All right. So, Myra, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. We are about to get started on your channeled message. Myra, if you're here, please let me know. Yay. Okay, Myra. So I'm about to get shuffling for you. My method is automatic writing. So it is a message that I hand write. I will read aloud to you like I did with Lovely. And if you want, I can also send you a copy of this message. I just need you to either follow me on Instagram so I can send it to you in a direct message, or I need you to email me so that I can reply to the email with the message for you. If you don't want a copy, that is okay. A lot of people don't get a copy of it, and that's fine. but I will still read it aloud to you regardless. So that way you have the message. So you let me know what you want to do. Okay, perfect. So if you click the link in my pinned comment, it brings you to my link tree, and if you scroll to the bottom, my Instagram, it'll take you right to my Instagram on the little icon. That'll make it easier for you, okay? And then just send me a message and I'll reply on Instagram with a copy of your letter. Amy, I got your donation. As long as we don't have anybody that jumps the line, then you'll be next, Amy, okay? All right. As with Lovelies, it took a few minutes for me to get this letter cultivated, so just bear with me, give me some patience. In the meantime, Myra, you can send me a message on Instagram, and when I'm done, I'll get that sent over to you. Thank you very much. All right, sorry guys, I wasn't looking at the chat. Give me 1 second. Oh, hey Nessa. Yeah. Mara, you may be onto something. All right, let's see. All right, let me get this sent to you real quick. All right, so your person says, I know you have felt separated from me, and I can feel your energy calling me back in. I have things I have to do on my own, some lessons that require my full and undivided or non-distracted attention. And you are a distraction to me, even when we are apart. How could you not be? I feel you always, so much love and beauty. You need to know I hear your wishes and what you want me to do. I hear you talking to me, pleading to make changes. I am not ignoring you. I just need to complete my own personal journey. Things are not over for us, they never will be. And you should have a copy of your reading on the messages now, okay? Oh, I don't want you to cry. So, Mara, hopefully you enjoyed that reading with me. Yeah. I had a feeling you were doing that because he said he feels your love. It's okay, Mara. I think distracting him at a distance is okay. I think he means more like if you guys were in person and spending your time together, it would be even harder for him. So I will not advise you on what to do there. I think sending someone healing love is great. You know what I mean? I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But he's wanting you to know he feels you. He feels you calling him in. He feels you healing. He feels your love. He feels everything from a distance. So he's saying like it is a distraction for me even at a distance, but like that's okay. I think that's manageable for him. So that is what I have for you, Mara. Hopefully you enjoyed your reading with me, and maybe we'll see you again over here. I'm gonna move on to Amy for her mini reading. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it, Mara. Okay. Amy, you said you're going to give some context. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What's going through his mind when he sees these things? What's going through his mind? This rarely happens, but the Two of Cups came out sideways, not in a reversal, but like sideways. So that's kind of funny. Let me see what I can get from that. You know, what did he think? What did he think? What did he feel? What did he think? What did he feel? What did he think? What did he feel? All right. So, okay. We have the Devil. So, this card does speak to temptation. This does make me feel like he was like, oh, like I like it. She's being kind of scandalous. I kind of like seeing a little bit more of her. The Devil does indicate, though, that he maybe feels like you did it on purpose. Like you, because the Devil has like he's calling you the devil, not in a bad way, but like a playful way, kind of like, I think she's doing this to try to get my attention. Like he's making it about him. Like basically meaning that you had an ulterior motive. So maybe you were looking for some kind of attention from him, and he was like, do I get pulled in? Do I not get pulled in? What do I do here? And so I feel like he's smart enough to know that maybe what you were doing was for his benefit. Again, he's not 100% certain of this, because you could be talking to someone else for all he knows. Do you know what I mean? Or you could just be like, okay, this was cute. I liked my outfit. I liked being at the beach. So he, of course, he doesn't fully convince himself that this is for his benefit. But I think for whatever reason, he thinks, okay, she knows what she's doing. She's doing this on purpose. Clearly, it's getting my attention. Do I take the bait? Do I not take the bait? So the Devil's just very much like, do I give in? Do I, let her, that's kind of the thing. Now, the Devil also talks about temptation. So he's like, man, this is risky behavior because I might be reaching out to her. I might send her a message. So yeah, there's definitely some temptation aligned with this as well. And so I think that at times he wanted to be a little impulsive. But I think deep down, like I'm getting almost like claircognizantly, he tried to keep a good head on him because he doesn't want you to think that if he's reaching out to you, it's specifically because of this kind of clickbait posting. Like, clearly you were looking good, you were feeling yourself. He doesn't want you to think that he's only reaching out to you because you were looking good. Does that make sense? So I feel like you'll hear from him again, but it might be on a more generic post. It might be something like something completely not scandalous at all. Like something simple, like you posted, an ice cream cone that you got from one of the ice cream places around, or just innocent, something innocent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I feel like you'll hear from him, but it's going to be on a more innocent post, maybe like a puppy that you saw walking by, just something like that, because I feel like he's thinking, if I take the bait, she's going to think that I'm only reaching out to her because that she was posting this. Now, was he tempted to communicate with you? Yes. But at the same time, I feel like he doesn't want you to know. I feel like deep down he doesn't want you to think that you have that kind of control over him. I think he's trying to remain like controlled. He's trying to remain like self-disciplined. I think he doesn't want you to get the wrong idea either because he likes talking to you. But imagine if he reached out to you because you were showing a little bit more of your body. That would send the wrong message to you. And that's the exact opposite message that he's trying to send to you. While it is interesting to him and it is intriguing and it did catch his attention, he's trying to take things slow with you right now. And he's not trying to jump into a like physical relationship with you because that's where things kind of got messy before. And so he's like, I can't put myself in that position again, because if he let himself communicate with you, those could have been some spicy messages. And I think from his perspective, he doesn't want to give you the wrong impression. And I think that if he makes that mistake again, he's just going to keep sending you the message that he's into you physically, and that's it. And to be honest, I feel like even for him, he's like, I don't even want to go there at all, period, because I'm trying to take this at a slower pace, if that makes sense. So yeah, he's trying to remain level-headed. I think he just doesn't want to give off like the wrong vibe. Because here's the thing, I think he knows to an extent that with women, if there's any kind of like physical conversation, spicy messages, hooking up, anything like that, women will feel more attached to that person. And I feel like that's what he's trying not to happen. I don't think he wants you to be attached to him. I think he likes you doing your own thing and not having expectations on him. So it's kind of a mixed bag of emotions for him, to be honest, Amy, because, the Two of Cups is sideways. So it's like he's not saying I'm directly saying no to her on a romantic connection, but I'm also not saying yes. Like, I feel like he's kind of in this in-between place of like intrigue and interest and physical attraction to you, while simultaneously going, I don't want that kind of relationship right now. So I think he's his two heads are battling, I guess you could say. So, in a way, this is good for you. In a way, this sets you up for success, because I feel like you can't get confused. He's not sending you mixed signals necessarily. He's trying to stay very like consistent in how he's approaching you. So that way you're not confused, because I think that he did confuse you for a while there. So in a way, this does set you up for success, because you're like, okay, I know where I'm at. He didn't take the bait. He didn't communicate with me. A little disappointing, because I would have loved to see more of a flirty side from him. But at the same time, I appreciate his consistency. I appreciate that he's not giving me mixed signals. So, it's kind of in like that realm of like, this is probably better for you in the long run. But at the same time, if you were trying to catch his attention, I can understand it could be a little disappointing if he's not reaching out to you about it. Yeah, that makes sense. No, that's good. That's good that you weren't expecting it. You said, but I knew if I posted, I'd catch up, like slip the rug from under him. Oh, right. Yeah, I caught him off guard. I would agree with that. Yeah, sure, go for it. All right, you said you want message cards. All right, let me grab those real quick. Do you want the ones that you said you think are really pretty when I would have them on camera, or do you want the deck that I make, or do you want the ones that I usually just always use? It's the two decks that I mix together. Whatever I feel pulled to. Let's do the hidden truth because there's a mix. It's like not a positive and negative deck, but kind of like one of the decks are kind of geared or catered towards people who are not really speaking as much as they would like. And then the other one is like very positive, like cards. So are generally more positive. So let me do that real quick. All right, messages from him, please. I trust you. I want you to know how I feel. We will be together again. So I think he's anticipating seeing you, anticipating spending time with you again. I think you've gotten that card before, some kind of rendition of that card before. I'm finding myself. I want to start over with you. No, I regret lying to you. Interesting. Maybe he felt like he withheld some information from you that he should have been upfront about. Your intellect arouses me. I remember saying that you guys had a really good, like, you guys were on the same wavelength mentally. You know what I mean? And then at the bottom of the deck, he says, I can be myself with you. Yeah. Yeah, he really likes the way you think, girl. He likes that brain of yours. I think he likes your banter. He likes your chat. He likes your conversation. He likes the fact that you can kind of give it right back to him. Maybe some people are probably put off by his joking. Like maybe he has a specific style of humor that can be off-putting to certain people, but you understand it. And I think that makes him feel more close to you, like more like drawn to you or something. And it's just like you kind of get him. Like there's people out there where they have a very dry sense of humor, they have a very sarcastic sense of humor, they have the kind of humor where they kind of like roast you. Um and finding someone who instead of getting offended can just dish it right back, like that is hard to find, I think, for certain people. And I think for him, he's like, we're kind of you and me. You know, like people when they do like the pointer finger and or the index finger and the middle finger, and they point to both their eyes, and then they point to the other person's set of eyes, kind of like we get each other, we see each other. Like that's kind of the vibe I get in terms of why he likes you and he likes your conversation and he likes your playfulness. You know, and that's good. That's good. You know, Amy, I never actually asked you, like, what do you like about him? So there you go. So that's funny because that's kind of the same. Or no, that's exactly the same. You said, not gonna lie, I like that he matches or even beats you at your own game of wit. See, wit. That is such an intellect thing. It makes me mad that he out roasts you. Look, you guys, so that's the thing. That's what it is between the two of you then. You know? Because, like, maybe you feel accepted. Maybe he feels accepted. He feels seen and understood by you. Because when you can have the same style of humor and understanding on that level, you feel like, okay, I can let my guard down. I can be myself because this person understands me. You know what I mean? The way he takes care of things and the cleanliness. Oh my God, me too, Amy. I married the best person for me. He is just as anal about things, just as OCD about things. It's so freaking funny because, like, people are like, my husband's so gross. Like, he's just so gross. Like, they'll say things like, he just like farts all the time, or he's just like, just disgusting. He only wants to shower every other day, or like, he doesn't brush his teeth, or I don't know what the heck. Like, I see people on TikTok all the time complaining about like how gross their partners or their husbands are or whatever. And I'm like, I do not have that problem. My husband is the cleanest, best person ever. You never have to get on his case about anything. I know that there's some wives out there that have to tell their husband, like, get in the shower, you stink. Do not have to worry about that with my husband. First thing he does, he walks in the house is wash his hands, because he knows that he's carrying in whatever was in the outside world. He takes his shoes off, he washes his hands, he goes back to the bedroom and like undresses and goes and takes a shower. That's like his first thing. Shoes off, wash hands, take shower. That's his process every single day. He doesn't wear outside clothes inside. He always changes into inside clothes when he gets home if he's not taking a shower right away. He like has outside clothes, inside clothes, and then in bed clothes even. Like he keeps some nails trimmed. He is just pristine with hygiene. He washes his beard every day because he has a beard. So he washes his beard every day. Like, he's clean. He's very, very clean. But I'm also such a priss. I'm such a girly girl. I'm such an OCD freak. Okay? So he's also had to, like, kind of heal to my ways a little bit. But at the same time, he also understands me. And I think that's why he's agreeable. Because he would probably feel the same way. The way he takes care of his room, his car, and himself, yes. So, like, I will say I can relate to that. The first thing I ever noticed about my husband is that he's very organized. Like, everything is just so. Everything is routine. He keeps, like, his clothes were in such, like, nice folded little piles, or, like, they're hanging up in his closet. He had his shoes all lined up. It's just things like that where you're like, okay, it's not even just about hygiene. It's the fact that you take care of yourself and you are not careless. So if you're not careless with your things, if you're not careless with material things, then it's almost an indication that you're not going to be careless with me, and you're going to take care of me. You know, it's almost like a subconscious thing like that. I love someone who's clean. His car smells good. Oh, see, literally, I just read your comment. We literally just said the same thing. That's so funny. Yeah, exactly. It does make sense. You and I were on the same page. Yeah, no, I definitely find that attractive when men. I think I just had this conversation last night. I think it's attractive when my husband knows things about um things that I have no idea about. Like, I love being able I tell him he's my human Google, because like if I don't know something, I'll ask him before I go to Google, because most likely he knows the answer. And then of course if he doesn't, then I'll look it up. But I just call him my human Google because it's just I like knowing how his brain works. I like knowing what information it holds. It is attractive for sure. Hey Sakshi, welcome in. How are you? It's funny. Elias is a good few years younger. He makes me feel like a baby. Oh, yeah. It's nice. It's nice when you can be with someone who just like takes the lead and takes charge and is like, okay, I'll drive, I'll take care of this. Like, like my husband and I were very like balanced when it comes to like finances. That's kind of like our thing. Like we handle it mutually. But whenever I go to the store, I'm like, what am I doing bringing my purse? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, you're my wallet. Like, why? And he's just like, will laugh at me and be like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, it's just nice. It's just nice to go somewhere and like not have to think. I could literally hold his hand, close my eyes, and he would get me through the store. Like, I love knowing that I have someone that is just takes that initiative, takes that lead. It's so important. I do spoil him sometimes though, because I remember we left the house. It was probably like 2 weeks ago, and he had the day off, and I said I would drive. And anything we did that day, I paid for it, and I drove. So he got to be like the passenger princess. He got to experience what it's like to be me for a day. And he was like, "I love this." He was like, I want this all the time." And I was like, honey, it's not as special if it happens all the time. So it's not going to happen every day. Sorry to say. I'm the wife in the relationship. I love not thinking too. Yeah, that's sweet. Aww. Yeah. That's probably why it's so hard for you to like get over this connection too, because this is like the first time you kind of were feeling this little spark with someone and learning about them and getting to know them. And it's hard when things are so short lived, when you feel like you can see so much potential in a connection and it just doesn't go anywhere. It just like kind of fades away. That's tough. But at the same time, there are people out there who will spend years and years in a relationship that they know is dead and gone. And they'll stay in it because they feel like there's still more to fight for. So it's like at the same time, like which way would you rather it end, Like I don't know. It's tough. Yeah. Amy, it seemed like he enjoyed his time with you. I mean, it seems like he liked spending time with you, and um it's safe to say he has a good time with you. Like he enjoys your company. Because I don't think people do stuff like that if they don't enjoy your company. You know what I mean? But he's got to figure out what he wants. He's got to figure out what he's doing here. Because for all we know, he could have in his head the next 2 years at least. I'm just gonna do me. Like what if he he has in his head like for the next 2 years, like I don't foresee myself being in a relationship. I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna enjoy my life. And you're over here thinking that there might be potential for you guys, but he's like, he has it in his head. That's not his plan, you know? And it's also awkward for you because you can't just outright ask him that because you're not in that kind of place with him where you can say, like, do you see yourself dating? Like, so you just kind of have to sit here and guess. So I think what you're doing is good. I think what you're doing is very healthy, and I support it. Yeah, Amy. I mean, there are definitely people out there who play the long game. They play the long game, you know, and you never know. You never know what's going to happen. life can change so fast. And I know that you know that. I know that you have experience with that, but it's like you can wait and wait and wait and wait, and then suddenly, boom, something happens. And if you were like 3 months ago, if you would have told me that this was going to happen, I would have had no idea. I wouldn't have believed you, etc., etc. Like that's life just happens. So it's so crazy. Gunner, if you don't stop scratching the couch, my cat, I think he's got like ragdoll in him, I swear to God. Gunner, stop scratching the couch. He's a very clumsy cat, and he'll like, if he sleeps too far on the edge of the couch, he'll just fall right off. And so I think he uses his nails to anchor into the couch so that he doesn't fall. But at the same time, he's not going to fall because where he's going, there's like plenty of room. We have a huge couch. And so what he likes to do is like army crawl underneath blankets on our couch. And he will literally dig his nails into the couch for no reason. Like it's like he has no spatial awareness. He doesn't understand his surroundings. He thinks that he's gonna like fall off a cliff every 5 seconds. I don't really know. But it drives me nuts because this couch was not cheap. This couch is expensive. And I'm like, stop it. And it's just a daily freaking fight up in this house. And it's like at the same time, he's so baby, so I can only be but so upset. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, just walk. Like, just walk. You don't have to be clawing the couch the entire way down. Like, just walk. You will be fine. It's not the end of the world. But I think ragdolls they just are clumsy, and they use their nails to like make sure they're safe or something. I don't know. You said even with how you see potential with you guys, you just remind yourself it happens. If it happens, it'll happen. Yeah. Then if not, you just gotta be okay with it. You never thought you'd meet him at all. Yeah, that's true. Your kitties are so goofy. They love chaos during your reads for some reason. They do. They like to time it that way, but also at the same time, they're chaotic 24/7. So, and then Gunner, he hates thunder. He hates any kind of loud noise. Like if I'm breaking ice in the kitchen, if I'm throwing something away, if I'm pulling foil out of the pantry, any kind of like loud overhead sound, he hates it. And tonight they've been shooting off fireworks, so he's like my scaredy cat. He like runs and hides. My husband said the other night we should have named him Chicken because he's just like such a little chicken. He's just the baby boy, and he's just so goofy and funny. And then Bodie, he couldn't care less. Like he's not scared of anything. He's my all black cat, and he's fearless. He's like our watchdog. But what's funny is if we put them both out in the wild, Gunner, the scaredy cat, would be the one that would hunt and prey everything because he's like very fast. He's very like agile. Even though he's a big ass boy, he's quick. He doesn't mess around. When it comes to killing something or grabbing something, he like goes for it. My black cat, who's like the watchdog, who you'd think would be the one that would be like the alpha out in the wild, he plays with his food. So he wouldn't kill anything. He would just let his brother do the work, and then he'd reap the benefits of it. And it's just so funny to me, like cats just have such a funny, distinctive personality, and like you only know it by spending time with them. But like it's funny. Like I just think the fact that animals and cats have personalities is the funniest thing to me. I'm just like that. Like, how are you so different from this other cat? You know what I mean? Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed the reading. Your stray kitty, where did your stray kitty go? Oh, okay. She's taking care of her. Okay, so she didn't Your kitty didn't leave. You're just gone. His name is Bodhi and he's so chill. Kind of like little laughing Buddha statues. That's so funny. Yeah, they just have like the most funny freaking personalities ever. They have different interests, they have different hobbies, they're just like people. They're quirky, but they were strays when we got them. And oh, you can tell. You can definitely tell that they are a little cuckoo. I think they're not quite inbred either, but I think that they kind of were at that cusp of like becoming inbred because it was like a compound of a bunch of cats and it was like litters having babies with a litter, like other litters that might be related. So these cats, they got a screw or two loose up there. I do know that, but I think that they're more they're more like normal than I think maybe other inbred cats would be. So I don't know. I don't know. You wait, what did you say? Your stray cat's about to be mad at you. Oh. We think that too, and then we come back on vacation and our cats are just like, "Oh, you again? Mhm. Okay. Where's our food? Clean our shitter box." Like they just don't care. That's sweet. I'm glad that you have that connection to animals. That's cute. Aw, I love that. I love that. Oh, well, girl, I know you're trying to hop off of here, and I think I'm gonna do the same because nothing's been sent since you sent. So I got a couple things to get done. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and call it a night. Clean our shitter box now. Yes, I know. That's exactly how it is. Like we serve them. Like I saw something that said, dogs, what did it say? Dogs have owners, cats have staff. That's what it said. Dogs have owners, cats have staff. Like our cats treat us like we're here to serve them. And I feel like that's a very all around collective opinion. All right, girl. Sleep tight. Have fun. Talk to you later.